Angel Choir, please. So, this is, like, to me, the greatest monster mask ever. Now, that's always arguable, I get that, but H.R. Giger sculpted it, and I had the original molds at Distortions sometime in the 80s. It was a silicone mold, because this was actually originally fiberglass, and so we, at least the top part of it was, and then we sprayed in latex, and Jim, we were working with Jim at Morris Costumes at the time, so he wanted a copy and out of the original mold, and so this is as good as it gets. Every other Alien has been, from a production mold, shrunken and so forth. So this is like perfect.
Yeah. So the first step is making the silicone off of this.
Right.
And then that mold, clay will be...
molten clay.
Molten clay, oil-based clay will be put in there, and then they will clean that clay up.
Yes.
So that it's perfect.
Yeah, they'll have an exact replica because there'll be no loss, and then it'll be clay and there'll be no loss. And then from that, we're going to go with an UltraCal 30 mold and make our production foam master. So it allows us to fix up any of the little, problems that this has. I tell you what's great about this thing is that it's such a part of movie history, and it's such a part of Distortions history, and to have it be alive again at Distortions is awesome. It's just, and as the guys are working on it, this is the greatest movie mask ever. I know that's arguable. There's so many great monsters, but there's something about this that was so land-breaking. What I've done here is I've got it painted. We usually paint in brown, but I wanted the movie studio to be able to see the details. We had 3 sculptors working on this for, let's see, what was it? 4 days. And of course, a lot of that was making the silicone cast, so there was no shrinkage. This is really as close as we can get to the original. And, it's funny, too, the sculptors, Jordu, Lysanders, and Tom all worked on this thing together. It was almost like Indiana Jones down here in the sculpting room, because it was like a sacred relic, and everybody's, "Ooh, be careful! Don't mess up anything." Because if we didn't have to do any smoothing or something, like all of this is right out of the mold. If we could leave it alone and just come in and make sure everything's smooth and right, it was really funny. And of course, Giger was. People throw around genius, but Giger was a genius, and he came from way out of left field and brought his bizarre, amazing artistic skills to Hollywood and changed Hollywood forever. This Alien and the chest burster, all these things became, something ripping out of somebody's chest. That's like a Hollywood norm now, but back then everybody's like, and people would leave the theater. That was too much. That thing popped out. All this stuff is from the original Giger mold, and I think probably because the original mold melted, this is the piece that we got from Jim Lawrence is probably one of the last surviving pieces, and it's because back in the day, R&D latex had formaldehyde in it, and the formaldehyde kept the latex alive for years. It kept the latex alive, and then it was foam filled. And so it was basically, Jim Lawrence's piece was a foam master, and of course he babied it, and he had a stand back here. I'm not one to go to the movies over and over. Like, some of the Star Wars guys, they'll go see it 100 times. I went to see this 3 times when it came out in the theater, once by myself. I saw it with my brother, 70 millimeter down in Denver. I saw it with my wife. I saw it by myself. Well, I just had this, before it leaves the theater, I had to see it again because it was so pioneering. Yeah, it just, I think most all the movies, when they had spaceships, they were like all clean and slick and military suits and stuff. And these guys were like truckers, you know. And the spaceship was amazing, but it was kind of messy. And there was so much that movie did for science fiction that it's hard to say enough about it. And we certainly all have a super respect for this monster, the guy that made the monster, and the movie itself. All the people worked on the movie. I mean, it was just art. So, you know, we're just happy to be a part of it again, and we're all just a little bit nerding out here at Distortions for the last few days. So anyway, that's it. Alien. Giger's Alien.